Doctor Strange, master of the mystic arts. Alone against the mindless ones. The unimaginably evil Umar has lured me into the deadliest of traps. I must needs free the innocent clear from captivity, but in order to do so, I am forced to confront a murderous army of mindless ones. The most brutal man-beasts in all the cosmos. Yet by Huggoth's hoary hosts I shall overcome. Stupefying story by spellbinding Stan Lee. Inconceivable illustration by mystical Marie Severin. Legendary lettering by sardonic Sammy Rosen. Despite their bestial power, their commitment to total destructiveness, the mindless ones have one weakness. They lack the matchless power of flight. Thus, if my mystic cloak of levitation can lift me beyond their grasp. But wait! Yonder blinding beam, some ethereal force seems to compel me to approach it. In this dread dimension, any mystic manifestation can be fraught with danger. Still, I dare not ignore it, for it may be a clue to Clear's whereabouts. Caution must be my watchword. I shall garb myself with a shield of invisible force, and then, closer, ever closer, I approach the beam. The aura of evil which it exudes is truly beyond description. And, even as the master of the mystic arts approaches the shimmering beam, by the dark deeds of Dormammu, he has been lured by Umar's bait. But he survives the deadly luminescence of my most potent beam. He has seen fit to gird himself with a shield of invisible force. No matter, the cunning of Umar shall yet compel him to drop his shield and be helpless before me. Then, slowly, mystically, unexpectedly, a figure appears within the unholy column of light. The figure of Clear, trapped within the glowing pillar of peril, which is lighter than the air, yet as inviolate as tomorrow. Once again does Umar triumph. So startled by the apparition which confronts him is my mortal foe that he relaxed his force shield for the space of a heartbeat. But that is all the time Umar requires. And then, I was careless long enough to be dealt a psychic blow the very second I let down my invisible defense. My limbs grow weak, my power fades. I am falling. Falling. But certain doom awaits me below. I dare not lose consciousness. By the mystic heritage of the venerated Ancient One, I must keep my senses. Though I have been dealt a crushing blow, though I fight alone against the deadliest of foes in the most frightful of worlds, I cannot abandon my trust. The sister of Dormammu must never be free to stalk the unsuspecting dimensions. And Clear, helpless, lovely Clear, must not be abandoned, not while a breath of life remains within me. They have me. But still, the cause is not yet lost. Though a universe opposes me, I shall battle on. My amusing little tableau is virtually ended. None that live can ever escape the deadly clutches of the savage, merciless, mindless ones. And as the entrapped master of the mystic arts struggles desperately to hold his inhuman attackers at bay while he recovers his former strength and power, it seems that there is much truth in Umar's taunting prophecy. I must endure their blows, regardless of the pain. By the omnipotent Ashtur, I shall not fail, I shall not fall. They close in again, preparing for the final assault. I must make my move now. Back, you denizens of the deepest dark back, you murderous mockeries of mortal man, Dr. Strange commands. Let the pulsating power of everlasting enchantment scatter you before me. Ah, I did forget, momentarily, that the mindless ones, too, possess the weapons of sorcery. But it matters not. For every weapon there is likewise a defence, if one has the worth and the will to employ it. I must not now falter. Every blast of bewitchment must be met by an equally potent counterblast. Yet their numbers seem limitless, and already my limbs begin to tire. My very brain grows heavy with mounting fatigue. I must employ a different tactic, one which is totally unexpected. A last thing they expect, a sudden physical onslaught. By moving with all possible speed, I can confuse them, push them into each other's path. Let their own brutal bodies serve as my defence against their pounding blasts. What manner of mortal is he, this sorcerer who fights so fearlessly against mind-staggering odds? Never have I beheld such courage, such daring, such skill. It's almost a pity he must not be permitted to survive. My plan begins to bear fruit. Since my bestial foes are truly mindless, living only to attack, I have succeeded in confounding them. Though some still menace me, the others, in a mad frenzy of total frustration, turn upon themselves. Thus shall I now once again approach the captive Clea. Even the mindless ones, those unyielding, indestructible predators, even they are unable to vanquish the mortal sorcerer. But what if their uncanny strength were matched by the ability to think? The time is come for Umar to be their brain. No sooner has that thought crossed the fiendish female's mind when... What startling change has now occurred? The mindless ones are regrouping, closing ranks in the manner of a thinking army. It can only be the doing of Umar. She has taken control of their every action. No longer dare I turn my back. My greatest challenge now confronts me. They are solidly massed in seemingly endless array. Only the peerless power of my enchanted amulet can serve to save me now. I must sweep a swath of total sorcery until the end is come. But then, after long, fateful minutes which seem like years, they draw ever closer. Only my wondrous cloak can shield me from their withering blasts. But with yon garment before me, the eye of my amulet grows tragically blind. So my cape must fall open once again, though it leave me virtually without defence. 'Tis madness incarnate, their numbers are inexhaustible. For every row I down, 2 more arise to take its place. As the long, torturous moments tick by, the valiant sorcerer stands his ground until, at last, the strain becomes too great. Even my awesome amulet cannot defend me forever. I must conserve its power somehow. And then, when he needs it most, a sudden inspiration strikes. Blessed be the Vishanti. At last I know what must be done. The mindless ones alone are not my foe. They are, but the limbs it is Uma who is the eyes. And, if the eyes be blinded, then who shall direct the limbs? By the shining, shimmering shades of the seraphim, I now command. Let a gleaming, glittering glare issue forth with the sudden, stunning fury of a serpent's sting. At that split second of eternity, the mystic figure of Doctor Strange suddenly seems to vanish in the blistering, blinding blaze of light. As from amongst the mindless horde, one lone thought issues forth, a thought which only we can comprehend. This is my only chance. I must hypnotically take the form of a mindless one, losing myself within the savagely milling throng. I cannot hypnotize the brainless brutes themselves, for they have no minds to be thus affected. But by shielding myself from Uma, she will not know which of us is her mortal foe. Strange thinks he has deceived me by taking the form of a mindless one. But I shall command them to attack each other, until sooner or later they destroy the one who hides amongst them. I sense the scheme of Uma, but I shall somehow reach the barrier before the beasts can be ordered to turn against me. He battles like a master, parrying my every mystic thrust with a bold, enchanted counter-thrust of his own creation. But the seeds of his defeat have already been sown. All he shall reap will be disaster. For the magic of Uma is far greater than his, and the deadliest shock of all still awaits him. Even though Strange may reach the barrier, he will soon learn it is all for naught. Thus, I shall allow him to finish out his little game while I direct my mind through the endless dimensions. To make certain that his most powerful ally is as yet unaware of his disciples' plight. Ah, all is as I wish. The unsuspecting Ancient One does occupy his time with study and meditation, while the trapped Doctor Strange draws ever closer to his final destruction. But time grows short, and my patience wears thin. Therefore, by means of the simplest of spells, I shall cause him to hasten to his goal. By the power of the darkness, in the name of the Satanish, I release the brainless multitude. Let my mind control now vanish. It was only he could have hypnotized. Without my mental control, his illusion must now fade into nothingness. Umar has overcome my spell. I stand revealed once again. Still, all is not yet lost. Freed of her mental control, the mindless ones cannot think fast enough, if they can think at all, to stop me. In one desperate move, utilizing every bit of mystic power I possess, I shall levitate to the barrier in which Clea is still imprisoned. By the 7 rings of Regador, I have succeeded. Take heart, fair Clea. Your moment of deliverance is near at hand. One last mystic bolt will shatter your shimmering prison forever. Venerated Vishanti, I do supplicate thee. Everlasting Vishanti, let fair Clea be free. It is done. Fear not, my lovely. Here, with my cloak of bewitchment about you, you shall be safe, even though my mystic power is nearly spent, and I must needs wait till it be revived by the passage of time. Alas for you, moribund mortal, your time has now run out. Till now, I did but toy with you for my own amusement. But the time is come to prove you are no match for the peerless power of Umar. Nay, you shall never seize clear again. Hapless human, behold the one that you have truly rescued. I did but give him the image of Clea, an illusion which I now dispel. It's a mindless one, and I never suspected. Your power is virtually drained, while mine is at its greatest peak. You are no longer worthy of my attention. Now you shall perish at the hands of the lowest of my subjects, at the hands of the prize you thought you had won. Next, the death of Clea. Next issue. Strange Tales. Number 154.